Alright. That's odd. Shouldn't that show my chat? Oh, I need to... Yeah, we need to swap that. Right. That's the one we don't care about. Yeah, okay. There we go. Alright, we are back. In Jacques Toural. Heritage found. The city that slipped through time. The city from outside time's reach. I don't know. Something like that. Oh, I'm looking forward to going long today. I don't have to get up early tomorrow. Because it's the 4th of July. So we're gonna go as late as the night is young, but I don't know if that makes sense. I should be using chain stratagem before my energy siphon, my energy drain. It's a mistake to not do that. Alright. Need some water, I think, soon. It was a long day, and I'm glad to be back on a Theris. I can't say Orzia, because that's not where I am. But I'm glad to be back on a Theris. Suppose I should get the ferry out. So that I can dissipate. I think the night zone for this theme is overall stronger than the day zone theme, but they're both pretty good. Very an air of mysterium for sure, and tension that I think befits the Eternal Thunder. Back. OBS Studio disconnected. That's weird. Doesn't look like it did. Reconnection successful? Okay. I guess the stream is fine then. Yeah, looks like it. Weird. Don't know what the deal was there. Why do you have bags under your eyes so big? She's so tired, dude. Look at her. Oh. I've heard that changing like some 3D rendering setting down to 99 may be a good idea. I'll try that out here since I'm on an AMD graphics card for this computer, or with this computer. She moves so daintily. I think I get something from that. Oh yeah, enhanced recitation. Anything else? No. Only thing left is seraphism. Cool. Oh, that's gonna be so nice. 60-second recitation. I'd love to see it. Two tarturali tarts. Great. Perfect. Just what I needed. I did do some more inventory maintenance. My inventory will hold out for another few hours.
What's happening over there?
It's nearly time.
Okay.
I'm glad you could make it. Are you with us?
Is that
Queen Sphene has come to see you.
is that who Aaronville's here for?
We're here, Namika. Everything is going to be all right. What's the matter, dear?
It can't be. That's the bangle I gave to Namika.
You know her?
Of course I know her. She was like a mother to me.
I see. She was always willing to lend a kindly ear to others, but rarely did she ever speak of herself.
Is it really you?
She must have arrived shortly before the barrier manifested. For us, it was perhaps days, but for her...
Namika, it's me! Wuklamat!
I'm afraid her time with us is nearly at an end. Has she no more soul cells?
She always used hers sparingly, but at her age, it wouldn't make a difference.
Ma'am, the ushers have arrived.
Thank you, Namika, for your many years of friendship. Take comfort in the knowledge that this is not the end. Be not afraid. Your memory will live on, in us.
She's gonna get uploaded into a simulation.
living on in memory.
The giants share a similar belief.
Oh, it's not a belief.
Wait, where are you taking her?
Worry not. She is being escorted to a medical facility in the tower. There we will ease her burden. I had hoped to make arrangements for her sooner, but she wished to remain here for as long as possible. I could not bring myself to refuse her.
Is there any way I might stay with her for a little while longer? We may not share the same blood, but she was my mother. Please.
Let us give them some time alone.
She didn't speak, but I'm grateful that I could be with her at the end. Thank you.
It's not the end.
Hmm?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking that we have much to discuss. Where shall we begin?
Oh, nothing.
With what we can be reasonably certain of, perhaps. Between what we have witnessed and the testimony of Alexandria's inhabitants, it's safe to say that two distinct lands have indeed become one. What's more, having met Namika, there is no denying the divergence in the passage of time. Taken together, these phenomena strongly suggest that some manner of cross-rift displacement has occurred. Specifically, the displacement of Alexandria from another reflection to the source.
It does seem the most likely explanation.
What perplexes me, however, is the scale of said displacement. It far exceeds what could conceivably be achieved with a void gate, or even with the crystal tower, the localized instance of dimensional compression. The Ascians would no doubt liken it to a rejoining.
Alright, I need to...
Which
hold on.
invites the question, how was such a feat accomplished?
How do I turn that deafening notification sound off? Do not disturb, I guess? I mean, I kind of want to see it. I just don't want it to make a sound. Ah, here we go. Okay. That should fix it. But it seems like the stream is disconnecting and successfully reconnecting, so I guess it's doing fine. We'll just have to see after the fact if it's skipping over time or not. I think when it reconnects successfully, I'm pretty sure it sends the lost data over and, like, it doesn't skip any frames, but I don't know. We'll see.
I wish that I had an answer for you, but This talk of reflections and dimensions is well beyond my understanding. I can only tell you that we lived peacefully under the barrier's protection for many, many years, until the day that peace was suddenly broken.
If I may clarify, the barrier predates Alexandria's displacement.
That's what I was wondering, yeah.
By several hundred years, yes. To when the continent we call home was ravaged by a devastating cataclysm. The barrier was erected to isolate us from the surrounding land's noxious influence.
Innocuous.
I see. And it was only later that it was whisked away, along with its contents, by means unknown.
In other words, Sphene's as lost as the rest of us, right? The Alexandrians didn't mean to end up in Tural.
Uh-huh.
Ah, but of course, our
Yeah.
next stop ought to be Everkeep. That tower over yonder.
Uh-huh, that that wasn't conspicuous
Once
at
you
all.
have been registered as my guests, you will have access to Solution 9 and its residential district, where you will doubtless gain invaluable insight into Alexandria's state of affairs. Unfortunately, I cannot take you directly to where Zeraljar resides.
That you'd let us in it all goes a long way toward proving you're not content to let Zeraljar do as he pleases. But we're not talking about a simple difference of opinion here. I've come to avenge my father, and to do so, I intend to take Zeraljar's life. Are you willing to stand by and allow Alexandria's king to be slain?
A fair question. Permit me to answer it thus. My people come first. Their welfare is paramount. I will do everything in my power to keep them from harm. It is a ruler's duty. Now, I am off to register you at Everkeep. It may take some time, but you shall find the entrance open to you in due course. Oh, and ere I forget, your mother, Kafkiwa, you might try the Thunder Yards to the east.
The Thunder Yards? Is that where she is?
I am afraid I can say no more than that. Make for the Thunder Yards, and all will be made clear.
It's not as if we have other pressing business. Not until we can get into this Everkeep anyway. Thank you for earlier. And for being a friend to Namika these past 30 years. It means a lot to me.
Namika? I'm sorry, but I don't know who you mean.
Uh-huh. Look at my eyebrows.
We were just with her. If this is some sort of a joke, it isn't funny.
I don't mean to give offense, but I honestly have no idea who you are talking about. I'm sorry.
So what does he think we were doing 10 minutes
How
ago?
can you not know who she is? You're in charge here. She was under your care.
Then in all likelihood, my memories of her have been stored in the cloud. Any person seemingly forgotten without reason is probably there, in the cloud. Oh, I really must be getting back to work.
Okay, tech
If
bro.
you'll excuse me.
Oh, I've got to get back to work farming my bitcoins. I've got to secure my spot in the cloud. It's all about the cloud, bro. Honestly, that's it's really funny that they decided to call it the cloud and not the, I don't know, dream sleep or some fantasy bullshit. Like, it's just the fucking cloud. Yeah, okay. I can't wait to type in a prompt to ChatGPT as the Warrior of Light. So we're actually gonna get access to Solution 9 now, huh? So it is here. What's up, Hux? Are you here yet? I thought you were behind me. I didn't think you were in the 5th zone. Oh, you're at 100. Oh, you sped ahead of me then. But you weren't that far behind me, so yeah. That makes sense, I guess. I haven't had much time to play over the past couple days. I'm enjoying it, looking forward to getting into Solution 9 finally. I find it very funny that they're calling it the cloud instead of some fantasy, whatever. The digital dream sleep or whatever. Yeah, when do the extremes come out? Is that like 6:05 or something? Or 7:05 or something? Oh, they're out? Oh, okay. Is the raid series out too? I don't remember what the cadence is. Is it like raid and then Alliance raid? Are they still doing the trials as part of the MSQ? Are they sticking with that? I think I liked it. I think I preferred it that way. Yeah. 'Cause, like, honestly, the weapon series was so much more interesting than the majority of those patches in the Shadowbringers. And I really liked the Void Arc. Or, well, can't call it the Void Arc, can you? The Void story. Yeah, the other level 100 dungeons. Yeah, that makes sense. Savage comes out at the end of the month. Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. The Arcadion Savages. Okay, so okay, they're 2 weeks apart. That makes sense. But correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't all the weren't like P5 through 8 and 9 through 12? Didn't the Savages come out alongside those? I wasn't current until 6.3, I think. So if it's different for the first Alliance Raid series, then I wouldn't know. Okay, sure. But for the other Alliance, or sorry, not Alliance, for the normal raid series. For the other normal raid series, it's or for the latter two, Savage comes out simultaneously, right? I'm gonna try to find a static for this expansion, now that I'm current. I want to, especially because the quality of the fights thus far, I really liked Valigarmanda. I want to do Valigarmanda Extreme. That's definitely high on my list of extremes that I want to do. And the caliber of the dungeons as well has made me feel that I'm going to enjoy the Savages if I can get a group to do them with. Yeah, the Alliance is after. Yeah, that makes sense. It's normal raid, Alliance raid, normal raid, Alliance raid, normal raid, Alliance raid, or whatever. That's good to know. Yeah, I'm enjoying the vibe. So I given how strong all of the fights and dungeons have been, I wasn't expecting anything less. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward. Yeah, and the music in this expansion, like, normally there's a few songs that I'm not a fan of. I have not heard a single song I didn't like this expansion, which is impressive. So, this is like, this has got to be ripping something off, right? There's some anime out there where people have things on their heads that extract their memories and also, like, give them other people's souls to resuscitate them or whatever. That's got to be something that already exists, right? Yeah. What I was saying this whole time, going through whatever it's called, I don't remember. It's a long name, right? Going through the Wild West zone, I was really hoping that that we'd have a train heist, right? And so what I think would have been really cool, and what I was kind of expecting is something kind of similar to like the train fight from Omega. Obviously, you don't have two railroad tracks there, so it wouldn't make sense. But like, you have like maybe you have a bunch of people like riding up alongside on, I guess not horseback because there's no horses, Ronique back or whatever. While you're fighting on top of the train, and then like I don't know. Then you merge that with the dungeon, right? So you open up like if you wanted to be spicy, you would do it kind of like the Stone Vigil with the Big Berthas, and you'd be able to get on the Big Berthas. And so you'd alternate between fighting ads and getting on the Berthas to shoot down people. But they wouldn't do that, so you'd just fight ads, or trash, I guess, is what you call it. And then the first boss is, like, you jump off the train, it explodes, and then, I don't know, some big holographic dude comes out the gate with two swords, and he's, "Who the fuck is driving trains into my fortress?" And that's how you open the dungeon. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty cool that, like, we were clearly the best marksmen there, right? Because it does make sense. Like, we've had so much experience, like, shooting various random shit in Stone Vigil and in the Bismarck fight, and, like, you can play Machinist and all that. But it would have been cooler if it was you actually shooting. I do think the dungeon would have been better if they'd done that, but I was still, I mean, I can't complain. Like, the fights in the dungeon were all very good, and I love that theme, honestly. Like, we were literally, we were, I was likening it to the Death Star at the time, but I think the interior is kind of similar to, like, that place from the Obi-Wan show, where, like, I don't know, Palpatine was storing shit. I don't remember what the fuck was going on in that show, frankly. Yeah, yeah, that fight at the end of the City of Gold, whatever that's called, the Skydeep Cenote, right? Yeah. The fight at the end of the Skydeep Cenote was really cool. And that was a fun one to heal through as well. I've just been doing everything duty sport cuz I like being able to go at my own pace, you know, look at all the sites. Not speed run through it. But that one healing through the fight at the end of Skydeep Cenote was... Wait, you've never heard what? That it was hard to heal? I mean, it wasn't hard per se. It's just that it stressed out my heals the most. Like, I had to revert to Succor, which I know normally, you know, never have to do in a dungeon. But I had to spam Succor a little bit. Oh, duty sport? I thought it's pretty popular. I mean, my friend at work is doing duty sport. No, the duty sport feature is really good. If you haven't, I would imagine you've tried it out, but the NPCs will, like, there's a fair few lines that are kind of fun to go through the dungeon with. Like, if you do the duty sport Amarat, I like that one. Yeah, I could get instant queues as well, and I was doing that for the majority of Endwalker, I think. I think it was towards the end of Endwalker that I started to do duty sport. But like, the NPCs have fun dialogue. They'll also, in particular with the trials, I did the Valigarmanda trial as duty support as well. But also with the dungeons, like, the NPCs will have varying levels of, like, how good they are at the fight. So you especially notice it. I think they worked really hard in the Mother Crystal fight to do that. So, like, Alize, I think the first time, like, the first time Heidelin does her, like, call to arms or whatever it's called, where she does the circle around her, Alize will stand inside it, and Doriange will say, "Alize, watch out!" And then the second time she'll not stand in it. So they don't do that in necessarily that high of detail for, like, all the dungeons and stuff, but certain people will stand in shit more than others, which is kind of funny. And it's yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't tend to do it more than once unless the queues are eternal, which they are for Picto and Viper right now, so I've just been doing that on the side, like, once or twice a day. But apart from using it to skip queues, I just like doing the duty support once to see what the... To go at my own pace. I can look at the dungeon, I don't have to worry about other people wanting to speed ahead, and to look at the NPC dialogue and stuff. It's pretty good. They've put a lot of time into the feature. It is slower, though, of course. You can forcibly do 2 pulls if you sprint ahead of your tank, or if you are playing tank. But the tank may not necessarily survive 2 pulls. Thancred more than once will have to pop Super Bowl-eyed. He is good at doing that, though. I will note. Thancred pops Super Bowl-eyed perfectly every time. So it will be slower to do the duty supports naturally. You know, they're not supposed to be fast, because it's like a... They don't want to remove all of the incentive of doing duty roulette. Or duty finder, rather. But I like it. Yeah, the dungeons... I think they're a little bit below where I would put the difficulty, especially, like, the first boss in Skydeep Cenote, and I think the second boss in whatever the mountain one was. I would put those specifically a little bit higher in difficulty. But I do appreciate that it has been a step up in difficulty from most of the previous dungeons. I think that they're pretty close to the right balance that they want to strike. Come on. You see that thing and you want to kill it? We'd better destroy that thing. It's got a cute face. The one thing that I am pretty sad about is them removing Black Mage's procs. It makes the class feel dead to me now. I'm holding out hope that when I get to level 100, the extra buttons and stuff will make it feel good again. But at level 90, Black Mage does not feel anywhere near as fun as it was before. That said, I do like all the buttons that the healers got. I haven't used all of them, obviously, yet. I've only leveled Scholar yet. I'm going to do the others after I finish. But by the look of them, I think that all of the buttons that healers got are pretty cool. And I do like Pictomancer quite a lot. Although I was disappointed by Viper. I'll probably have Viper leveled and just have it as a class that I can turn my brain off and play every once in a while. Kill that thing! It's cute! Kill it! Standing 100 yards away. Great. So we've got to screw around chasing a cute robot before we get into Solution 9. Because of course. Of course we do. Is this... No, it wouldn't be, I don't think. Yeah, no. It's not a dungeon. Just a cave. Earth and sky. I'll tell you, the one thing that threw me the hardest this expansion was going into Dawntrail for the first time and suddenly being inundated with all these Deep South accents. Well, not Deep South. They're not super hard like Texas, but like most of them do have some southern drawl. The entire game, it's been exclusively British accents. I was like, what the hell have I walked into? An episode of Walker, Texas Ranger. Or something. Yeah, it's a robot. They might be. It did sound... Some of them sounded weird, some of them didn't. But...
What is this?
That may also be indicative of some of them being better at doing accents. Oh boy. Is that a
really is you!
His mom is in the fucking robot! Huh?
I just have to get a look at you in the light. And I can still hardly
What
believe
is
my
happening?
eyes. But it is you, my darling Elder.
My darling, what now?
Why does she look like that?
Oh, it's so good to see you, my fussy little bun bun. But what are you doing here? What brings you all this way?
Yeah, we're not gonna... Are you alright? Yeah, that's the real fucking question here. Why are you a robot? Unidentified
Why the
floating
long face?
object.
Aren't you happy to see me after all this time?
I know that laugh anywhere. Mother?
Wait. Since when was your mother a weird floating thing?
And what have we here? Say, aren't you Galoo Jaja's kitten? I knew I recognized that adorable fuzzy face. Ellen Spear was always so excited whenever you invited him over to play. You remember me, I hope.
Come on.
I can't say that I do, but you know my father?
Appearances notwithstanding, it would seem this is my mother, Kafkiwa.
I'm sorry?
Oh, this won't do. Come in.
Okay.
Friends of my Ellen Spear are always welcome.
So you... So some weird bullshit happens that ends up with you being, like, mentally implanted into that thing. And you just don't... You act like it's nothing. You don't explain anything. Oh, you don't recognize me? I've always looked like this.
All I ask
Sure.
is a little forewarning, but no.
Sure. My favorite line from the expansion thus far is, please tell me it's not Alligans or whatever.
Just when I thought I was starting to get a handle on this place. How are things still getting stranger?
However Alize put it. What the hell is going on in here? Hold on. Okay, yeah, that's... Is this a remix of an old Final Fantasy song? Yeah. I don't know that I've... Which zone was that? I don't recall that. Have I not seen that yet? Oh, when did that happen? I don't remember that. I remember several allusions to Wuklamot doing that. I must maybe I was sleeping. I think I was pretty tired when I went through. Oh, and they went to get the food ingredients. Yeah, okay. I must have missed that one then. Or I just forgot about it. Yeah. Well, you know what I'd like to see if they're gonna make a nod to Red Mage like that, have Estinian just accidentally backflip off the side of a mountain. Yeah. I think I do vaguely remember what you're talking about, yeah. Although I will say, as much as I want to see Estinian throw himself off a mountain accidentally, the scene right as we're about to fight the Endsinger, where he just gets fucking yoked out of the sky by a planet, is still the funniest thing I have ever seen in my life. Just goes, ah! Every time I think about Estinian flying at the giant space lady with his spear and just getting a planet thrown at him. I think it's the noise that he makes that's really funny there. Okay, so she's not in the robot. A resistance organization. Hmm. I can go back and look at my reaction to that line though. That's part of why I wanted to record this. They got a pirate map on the table? Interesting. So this is like... So this is... Okay. So my cooking the other day was that Heritage found, as on top of the line from the end of the dungeon where he was saying we're going to reclaim our honor or whatever, implies to me that the source, the people of this shard, which I'm assuming is the 9th shard because Solution 9, the people of the 9th shard, after it was fucking blown up with lightning or whatever the hell happened to it, they somehow found out about the source, maybe the Asians told them, and they were trying to get back to it. So then because then they would consider the source to be their heritage, and when they came here, their heritage is found. And so then that would imply that Oblivion is a faction from before, which were originally trying to stop presumably the person on the other side of the portal in El Dorado, right? Skydeep Cenote. Whoever that guy was that, for reasons unknown, decided to give a dictator his private army. Oblivion would have been in direct opposition to that person, presumably. It was a pretty sick moment when Zeralja got up after this thing booted up. That was a cool moment. The pinnacle of electro-technology. Yeah, okay. But so what does that mean, though? Because, like, where the line between a person's body and ether and soul is was never really explained, was it? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, did we really not gather that from the guy, the mechanical soldier waltzing around and sucking glowing orbs out of people? Like, what did we think he was doing? That's true. That's a good point, yeah. I mean, I think most of the time they do go for, like, the same definitions, right? Like, if things are different... Like, I think... I want to say Gil is called something else on the first, right? But, like, they immediately explain that to you, and they're also like, oh, but Gil is equally convertible to this, so you don't have to care, right? So, like, if souls are different, I would expect them to typically say that. My question is, does having a system which literally, like, quantifies souls and is able to, like, manipulate them, does that force them to more sharply define what a soul actually is? Because, like, as far as I know, we don't even know what the anatomy of an Etherean, what a person of this planet's anatomy actually is. The only thing we really know is that they have blood. Because, like, they can be shot 30 times in the chest and they're totally chill. So, like, do they have lungs? I don't know. Maybe there's a side quest I haven't done where you get to know in excruciating detail about the anatomy of an Elysian or something. But the real question is here, where are the souls coming from, right? Yes, that is a character from... That is a Void Scent, yep. Thank you for reminding me, game. Good to know. Yeah. I mean, that's also where it intersects, right, with the concept of what a soul actually is within this game. Because if the soul is either independent from your ether or it's like some small subsection of your ether, then when Zero or some other Void Scent consumes another one, they're consuming more than just the soul. They're consuming the entire body of the thing. Because the Void Scent don't have an actual body, right? They just manifest it out of their own ether. So depending on where they draw the line, that process could be different for this. Oh, or technological bullshit. I mean, that... Sure. That works too. I mean, it's a nice intersection with the fact that they're wiping people's memories and uploading them into the cloud or whatever, right? Oh, so this is... It's like a combination of an alpha and a beta? Is that the idea? From Revelation Space? I don't know. Maybe it's just an alpha level simulation. Great. Perfect. Bestowing kindness upon people always goes well. If you're bestowing a kindness, that's always a good thing. Those three words together always mean good things. But what's the point of storing them in the system if you're going to remove their memories? Can't you? Does that mean that you can't interface with the system? Like, you can't go over there and talk to them? So they're just living in nirvana or whatever? With no connection to the outside world? That seems arbitrary, though. Oh, I see. So you're... Okay. Memories are separated from the soul. Which seems like... Given that we know there's something going on with memories that transcend reincarnations, that seems very problematic and not like a good practice. Because the whole idea with the echo, right, and the blessing of light was that the echo... Oh god, all of this is so fucking overcomplicated. Was the echo an enchantment by Heidelin? Well, either way, the blessing of light, at least, was an enchantment by Heidelin, right? But in order to be awakened to it, you had to activate your ancestral memories, right? And so, if you're flensing these souls of their memories every time, I guess you're also kind of removing souls, though, aren't you? Right? I guess it doesn't even matter if their memories are gone, because does the soul remain separate when you die? Do two souls go back to the star, then? Because if not, then you're just constantly reducing the amount of souls in the world, right? Which seems also problematic. Yeah, I suppose I'd be that happy too. Yes! I just ate somebody's life force! Yes! To be remembered forever. So then the Golden City is just the server, right? Its people lived as gods, never aging, never dying, because they're simulations. Yeah, so I mean, the real question is how the cloud works, though, right? Are they just living in an eternal paradise that's completely separated from the outside world? Or are they storing the people so that, like, when they take over the source, they can implant those memories into robots or something? And then set them free? I don't know. This song is also very unique. It honestly feels like something from Persona. Like, it doesn't feel like a Final Fantasy song. Not that I dislike it. Just very abruptly different vibe coming from electro. Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, I really like the Garlean radios. I think that that's a really cool feature of that zone. It's... I don't know. Sometimes I put that on and I just vibe to it. So, if there's lightning in the sky, does that mean that, like... Is that inside the dome? I guess it must be, right? But, like, if the lightning's inside the dome, then what would be outside on their world? And why would they make a dome with lightning? It seems like a security risk. Like, I guess it's powering their stuff? Well, no. Yes, I know that we've been outside, but the dome originally existed on the other shard, the other reflection. So if there's lightning inside the dome, what were they keeping out on the other reflection? Like, what was outside before it was teleported? More lightning? Great. Okay. So what the fuck is the point of the dome, then? What do you mean, more lightning? Okay, yeah. And there's just enough lightning inside, of course. Of course, I should have figured. My bad. It's much too dangerous to be here without one. It's fucking stupid. So... Their main military force is ineffective on the planet that they're from? Is that... Great. Well, maybe it's a recent development. I suppose Zoral Jaz had 30 years. Maybe he developed them here specifically to invade the source. It sure is fortunate that every NPC we happen to meet in this game just so happens to require monsters to be killed. You know, you never meet the NPC that's like, boy, I sure need some help with these math problems. I need to figure out 5 different matrices before the end of the day. Sure is lucky that you never run into that guy, huh? Do this. Nope. Nope. Whoops. Oh yeah, forgot about that. Searing Flash now. I'm gonna need some more potions, or some new potions, I guess. Yeah, that one is not restoring that much HP anymore. Grr. Are we gonna watch it kill her and then her come right back? Oh, she's a dancer. A dancer. Or, no, she's a pugilist, not a dancer. Or a monk, whatever. Oh no! Okay. Yeah. So how many of them do they have? It's very funny that it plays both resurrection sounds. Also, is the thing not gonna finish the job? Like, okay, we've seen this happen. It's not that surprising. Not to worry, I've got 15 more souls I can throw away if I want. Is she gonna overcharge? Entering red mode. There must be a cost to doing that, though, right? Does it just have a cooldown? Is that all? Oh yeah, he wasn't there, was he? Was he? No, he wasn't there. That's right. That was before he came to the city? Was it? Yeah. Yeah, that was before he came to the city. Yeah. Welcome back. So, like, sure. Wouldn't the souls be like a thing that you wouldn't want to waste? Also, why wouldn't... Well, maybe it was a weaker one. Are you gonna tell us why the hell you're zooming into the meeting? On the Teams robot? The Zoom robot? Yeah. So then they'd be stockpiling souls, right? Because every time somebody's born, it would still be taken from the Ethereal Sea, right? Yeah, you know, it would stand to reason that most of the reflections, unless the Ascians specifically were trying to fuck them over, which maybe they could have been, but most of the reflections would be more advanced than the Source, because the Source had been shattered like 7 times, so... But it would also make sense that the Ascians wouldn't want them to become too developed, so they would knock them down every now and then. The worth of a soul. Let's take a moment, but not here. We specifically have to go somewhere else to talk, before we then go somewhere else after that. I do really like the auto advance in voiced cutscenes feature. Very, very nice. Because I would typically turn it off for non-voiced and turn it on for voiced. Yeah, I mean, that seems pretty obvious. Sphene has their hands tied somewhat, right? Yeah. 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 But we also have no idea what the hell Zeralja's doing. Like, there's no way he doesn't know we're here. Also, we haven't tried asking her to just see her. Shouldn't we do that?
I trust you as well. You're the most capable person here.
I do really like spending this much time traveling with someone who's not only very capable, but also isn't like a PhD student and massive nerd like all the other Scions. So when Graha goes on about reflections and temporal distortions and crossing the rift and all that, he's like, I don't entirely understand what you're saying. It's nice to have a contrast to that. Not extracting the materia? Dog, I can't be fucking bothered. I extracted materia like 40 times before I decided... No, more than 40 times, like 400 times before I decided I wasn't gonna bother with it. You just buy it! You just use some cracked Nova clusters. Yeah. If there was a button to extract all materia from everything you're wearing, I would press it, okay? But I don't want to click the same button 10 times in a row every 10 minutes, okay? It's annoying. Just noticed this guy's name is Geode, and he lives underground. Yeah, that's real fucking cute. And two girls behind him are called Subterranean and Cave System. Why don't we just ask if we can see her? My fussy little bun. Oh. Also, when are we going to learn about, like, what war crimes Zeralja witnessed that put him on this path? I guess it's probably going to be when we fight him, but... I really want to know. I also want to know what the hell the medallion on Sven's chest says. But my character is too tall for me to get close enough to read it. Also, does she have writing on her back? It seems like she does, maybe. Like, right above the small of her back, on like her gown or something. Yeah. No, Zeralja had really good one-liners. Like, out of all the people in this expansion, he's had the most really good one-liners, I think. Wouldn't it make sense to occupy Vanguard after we cleared it out? But we didn't bring an army. Actually, what even is the state of the army right now? Because it doesn't have a goddamn general. I don't know. I guess Quana is in charge of that. Ah, so now we're finally gonna get to go inside? Okay, I was also wondering about that. It didn't seem like she should. So I appreciate that they're pointing that out. Nostalgia and Wayakwe. Two peas in a pod. That feels like a Final Fantasy IX reference, maybe. I've played like 3 hours of Final Fantasy. No, 2 hours of Final Fantasy IX for reference. My friend who plays this game told me to finish Final Fantasy IX before this expansion came out, and I didn't. But in my defense, it's mostly because I started it on my laptop, and cloud saves apparently don't exist for that game, so rest in peace. I should have just, like, sped through the first couple of hours on my desktop and just do it over again, but I don't know. Ah, okay, okay. That makes sense. Ambrose. But if everybody has a choice in wearing one, can they choose to just take theirs off when other people die? I guess if they put it back on again, it'll remove the memories, is the idea. So they would have to keep it off permanently. I've got to say, though, the idea of, like, this sort of last bastion on a destroyed world teleporting into here and then living in isolation for 30 years is pretty cool. Like, that's a really good setup, I think, for what's happening here. Feel free to listen to the music in this hideout as you like. Can you get this one as an orchestrion? I kind of want it. Yep, that's a server bank.
You've been consulting with Wook Lamont.
He's actually big now. Wait. Or is she just short? Was he always that big?
No matter. I do not know what you are scheming. But when your realm lay on the brink, you were powerless. You had no choice but to turn to me. Whatever sentiment you may feel for her, it is my power you require. Is it not?
Not really anymore.
Perhaps. And yet, knowing the love that Wook Lamont bears for her people, how she regards them all as kin, I cannot help but wish to spare her the same pain I have suffered. What's more, her friends possess new knowledge. Were we to work together, we might find another path. I know you're loath to consider it, but is there no hope for peace with Tuliolo? What we've already done may be unforgivable, but it needn't continue. You needn't kill your brother and sister.
I slew my only flesh and blood. Yet you attempt to sway me with an appeal to family. The memory of my father's final moments still fills me with disappointment. Age came for him before I did. For long years, I sought to prove the miracle. And weak as he was, defeating him achieved nothing.
You also did lose to the Shade.
To kill them is my only recourse. Wook Lamont and Kona, who bested him as he was in his prime.
Yeah, okay.
They are still your siblings, even if not by blood. That such bonds should mean so little to you.
I am bound to no one. Serve none save myself. I made that clear when first you spoke to me in the Golden City.
He's a good villain.
Remember, I can easily kill your beloved family. If you would protect them, cast aside any foolish notions. Your wisdom and abilities are valuable insofar as our goals align. So think well before you act, Queen of Reason. Uklamot. If you are father's worthy successor, then you will find your way to me. But should you fall short, I will lay waste to Tuli Yolal.
I feel like he is taller.
What now?
I am bound to no one. I serve none but myself.
I think that's the last line from the trailer that we hadn't heard yet.
I am bound to no one.
I would like to have this song for my house. Does this lead out? No, it doesn't. I'm still... Well, I guess, you know... I still don't feel like we fully understand the actions that led to this point between when we saw him in, like, the 6th trial, and then saw him failing the 7th, or whatever. Also... You may be amused to know, Hawks. I thought that Cyril Shaw was going to be the final villain. I thought that guy was the Palpatine to Zeral Juz, Kylo Ren. But not quite. Or maybe Count Dooku would be better analogy than Kylo Ren. I was very wrong on that count. Yeah, I suppose she did. Yeah.
Outrunner Guide Unit identified. Registration number verified.
Yep.
Verifying credentials.
Really has to pan over 6 times. Great.
Credentials verified.
Oh, I've been waiting the whole expansion to get in here, baby. Oh, great.
Everkeep. A tower of electrobe piercing a perpetual shroud of storm clouds. Occupying the 9th level of this 12-tiered structure is a residential district called Solution 9. In so naming their home, what hopes did its founders harbor for it? And
This place
did
is
it prove the
fucking
answer they sought?
huge. This is actually so big.
Spectacular, isn't it? There are more districts throughout the tower, including industrial ones, but Solution 9 is the largest.
Just being here makes my head spin.
Perfectly natural reaction. A city of shimmering electrobe, replete with strange technologies that cater to every conceivable need. We never dreamed the light back home in Tuliolo. Now, while I go and explain the situation to those in the back room, why not take a moment to explore? I believe lived experiences are far more educational than dry explanations. And you want to know more about Sphene and Zoralja's dominion, do you not?
You had me at explore!
I had a feeling you'd be king.
Just to confirm, while we have been allowed inside, are we also permitted to roam?
Absolutely. As Sphene's registered guest, you'll find you're exempt from the sentry scrutiny. The elevator to the uppermost level. I wouldn't go near that. But other areas should be fine provided you act like you belong.
All right then, we'll show ourselves around.
Yes. Familiarizing ourselves with the technology here will help us prepare for the battles to come.
This guy's
Try not to enjoy yourselves too much, or you're liable to attract attention.
Groha's trying to hide how unbelievably
Once
excited he
you've
is.
explored to your satisfaction, come to the entrance to True View in the eastern sector. The way from there is a little complicated, so I'll send someone to guide you.
Understood. We'll see you later. I shall speak with the residents. Perhaps one of them will recognize the earring.
What's with this place? How can this all be the inside of a tower?
So, what aren't you telling me? Where are you?
That I can't reveal yet. Precautions, you understand. Just know that I'm safe. But come, tell me about your adventurer friend. You seem to have a great deal of faith in him. You must have been through a lot together.
You might say that. For instance, we found the entrance to the Golden City.
Wait, what? You did? Elnashpir, why didn't you mention this sooner?
doesn't really matter at this point, does it?
You want to explore together? It's not that I'm scared or anything. Everything is just so different from home is all.
Get out of my chat, Tezo. All right. I'm going to tour this city and then I will play HOTS, I guess. I wanted to just play Final Fantasy today. Yeah, gross. Gross, dude. But I will have time tomorrow, so... Oh man, look at those reflections. Those reflections are really good. So yeah, I'll probably play for like at least 8 hours tomorrow. What happens if you... Oh, you can attune to it without attuning to the etherite. What does that mean? Wait, also, how do I get over there? Is there a hover pad something? I think there must be. That's perfectly safe. Lane 09.
Ah! There you are! Lamati!
Sphene!
I was worried you might have had trouble at the checkpoint, but I see everything went according to plan.
That's 100% Final
that's thanks
Fantasy
to
IX
you.
music.
Now, I know you've scarcely arrived, but I have a request to make of you.
Oh, a request you said.
Fairly out of place.
Yes, an important one. I'll say it plain. I want you to make peace with Zeralja.
What? I thought you said you weren't on his side.
We have come no closer to seeing eye to eye, nor do I condone his methods. Be that as it may, I don't want you to fight him. I don't want you to regret a decision made in anger and haste. Unequipped with regulators as you are, the risk is too great.
No, she didn't. Shut up.
I appreciate your concern, but you ask the impossible. Zoralja murdered our father. His minions slaughtered our countrymen. He will never renounce his war. As vow of resolve, it falls to me to stop him. I know you love your people too, and so you must understand how I feel. Why I cannot, will not back down.
I do understand. All too well. Let me say only this then. Zoralja will use any means to win. If you would protect your people, return to them at once and prepare. Prepare as best you can. It may ring hollow coming from the queen of an enemy nation. But unlike me, you still have the power to determine your own fate.
You really are a curious one. Look, you needn't worry for us. We have dependable comrades holding the fort in Tulihyolal. They'll keep everyone safe, so we can devote our attention to affairs here.
Please.
Never fear.
So you have comrades on whom you can rely.
What does her
I am for you.
pendant say?
You know, we'd like to learn more about you.
Yeah, like what your pendant says. I want to learn that.
To be frank, we're still not sure whether or not you're trustworthy. So, if you have a moment, would you show us around the district? That way, we can get to know you better.
You're asking me, the Queen, to show you around? Oh, but I jest. I'm flattered that you've taken an interest in me. Very well. I shall be your guide. You're my guests, after all, and teaching you about my realm would be a pleasure in and of itself.
Her outfit is really kind of weird.
If you like, I can introduce you to my citizens, too. I consider them family, as you do yours.
By all means, we're in your capable hands.
That you are. This will be an enjoyable and enlightening tour, I promise.
Alright, I guess I'll go play Hots. Listen, if you want to watch me play more Dawntrail, I'll be back tomorrow. What level am I now? Is this 99 yet? Oh, it's 97. It's not even 98. Yeah, I mean, you never know how long the last level will take, right? Because Ultima Thule is all level 1, or level 90, right? And Ultima Thule is a pretty long zone. Especially when you account for all the voiced cutscenes there. So, yeah. But so the next dungeon comes at 98, right? So... I don't know. I'll definitely hit the next dungeon tomorrow, though. Alright. Alright. I guess that's all for today. Oh, is it 99? Well, whatever. I'm pretty sure I'll make it to 99 tomorrow. If not 100. Alright, see you.